Welcome back to the Diary of an Avoidant. My name is Alexis Friedlander, a therapist who's been on both sides of the anxious avoidant dance. And this podcast is where we talk about how to make love feel less like survival and more like connection. In the last episode, we talked about why love feels so hard when you're anxious or avoidant. Today, I want to go deeper into the exact moment things go wrong. You know the moment. You know the text that doesn't come. The conversation that shifts the tone. The silence that suddenly feels unbearable. That very moment when your nervous system floods with panic. This is where we often lose ourselves. But it's also where healing begins. When a trigger hits, it doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet, a single message left on read. Other times it's a tone of voice, a change in your partner's energy. Your body knows before your brain does, and that's very interesting. You might feel some tightness in your chest. And then your thoughts would speed up. Or, if you're an avoidant like me, you go completely numb. You shut down. You feel nothing, just the urge to get out, to escape. This, my friend, is your attachment system. If you're anxious, the story you're telling yourself is, I did something wrong, I'm losing them. If you're an avoidant, that story is different. It's more, this is too much. I can't breathe. And within seconds, you're not really you anymore. You're the 7-year-old self trying to keep love from slipping away. And what most people do in this moment is try to fix it. You text again, you apologize, you explain, you ask for reassurance, or, if you're an avoidant, you disappear. You punish the other person with distance. You escape. It's like being in a burning room and running straight into the fire. But the real work is learning how to stay still, just for a few moments, to pause the spiral. Let me share with you a tool I give my clients and that I use myself. Step number 1, name it. Say out loud or in your head, I'm triggered. This is not truth. This is fear. Just naming will interrupt the automatic loop. Try it. Trust me. I'm not making this up. All therapists, serious therapists who work on attachment wound will use this tool. Step number 2, you locate. Bring your attention into your body. Where is this feeling? Is it in your chest, your throat, your stomach? You're not trying to get rid of it. Just be with it. I remember when I learned this tool, unfortunately after many years of therapy, that was just a aha moment where I realized that the way I would deal with this pain would be to numb myself, to push it away. And when you're an avoidant, you don't want to have any connection with your emotion. For many years I thought being vulnerable, being in touch with my emotions was a sign of weakness. But as soon as I've learned to notice, to just be present with those emotions, then I felt more empowered because I had the insight. And by locating that physical sensation, this will ground you in the present instead of being hijacked by the past. The step number 3 is to breathe. Not deep, dramatic breath, just gentle. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Try 4 counts in, 6 counts out. Just do it 3 times. What it does, it signals safety to your body. Because until your body feels safe, your mind won't make sense. So remember, step 1, you name it. I'm triggered. This is not truth. This is fear. Then you locate it in your body. And then you breathe. This has to be your second nature. This has to be your daily ritual, your self-care ritual. This is the starting point. When you're in that moment of panic, everything feels urgent, like you need to do something now, or you lose everything. But here's the truth. Urgency is rarely wisdom. It's just your nervous system trying to stop the pain. And most of the time, what you need is to stay still. What you need is a bit of space, time to check. Hold on. Am I responding to them or to an old wound? Remember, you don't need to fix the relationship in this exact moment. What you have to do is to anchor yourself. Let's do an exercise right now. If you're not driving, put your feet on the floor. Feel the floor. Roll your shoulders back. And just notice 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can feel, 1 thing you can see. You can pause the tape now and just look at this. 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can feel, 1 thing you can see. And you say to yourself, right now, I'm safe. I can come back to this moment. I don't need to act from panic. And you repeat that as often as you need. I'm safe. I can come back to this moment. I don't need to act from panic. Learning how to be with your panic instead of obeying it is probably one of the most powerful things you can do to change your relationship patterns. Of course, you won't always get it right, and I don't either. That's not the problem, but every time you pause, even for 5 seconds, you are rewiring something old, something that never really kept you safe. Next time, we'll talk about how to spot the difference between real connection and anxious projection. Because sometimes it's not love you're chasing, it's reassurance. If you enjoy this session, if you enjoy this episode, let me know in the comment section. Remember, don't believe everything your panic tells you. You're already doing the work.